call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Joe. I'm the Kentucky Atheist. I've got a new guest host with me today here at Let's Farm. This is the Politicality show. We're going to talk about current political events and stuff. But before we get into that and introduce my guest host a little further and stuff, I want to say thanks to all the channel members that support the channel and head out and help in this adventure I've decided to take for some reason. And a big shout out to my Patreon supporters as well. Greg, Robin, Quinn, Ray, Regios, Captive Desk, and Narrative Dude. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. We're trying to do big things here, and I appreciate you guys helping me. Let's see here. In the chat, PC's there already posting links and stuff, and Michael Bell's already here. Hey guys, what's up, Deviant Outcast? Glad you're here. So let me do that real quick. I forgot I had everything still on the editing mode. What's up, Let's Farm? How you doing?
Hey, Joe, how are you tonight?
Doing good. I kind of just put a word out. Hey, somebody want to come talk politics and fill in for Robin today? And you've been a follower of the channel and a member and a moderator and all that. So you said, sure, I'll fill in for that and do that with you today. And I thought, great. I love having people that haven't been on to come on and talk with me about stuff. I like getting multiple perspectives on things, you know?
Well, absolutely. And as a former Kentuckian, graduated from Webster County High, Dixon, Kentucky, lived in a little town called Slaughters. So, yeah, I love your channel. I love what you do. So, of course, I'm going to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's nice. What's up, Zero? I'm going to say Zero. So today, the title of the show is What is the Alien Enemies Act of 17? It should be say 1798. The YouTube video title is going to differ from what I have here, but anyway, that's the title. Is something to do with the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, and I want to talk about that because when Trump went, he mentioned it multiple times, but in Aurora, Colorado, he did a lot of fear mongering and stuff there and brought it up. And so I want to go through exactly what it says and what the implications of that are written in the plain text and kind of what we can extrapolate from knowing Trump's behaviors of what it may mean. I don't want to. I want to be careful here and not insert too many assumptions. But I mean, Trump's a fascist, so I mean, we can pretty much conclude that he's going to behave in a fascist manner.
This is a scary, scary law.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. It's some of the when I read when he first said it, I was like, well, that's going to be some I can deport foreign people, you know, and whatever. And it does say that, and that's bad enough. But this thing is pretty terrible. Let me get it on screen here. I'm going to have to share it as a web page because I want to actually read through some of it. And I could have taken screenshots, but I'm tend to be lazy.
It's quite vague in the way it's worded.
Yeah, it is, which is what scares me about
it. Me too, because that's what makes it so scary.
Yeah, it's because I feel like it allows him to kind of do whatever he wants to do with it, and that's, let's see, does that get us there? And then do this number. There we go. All right. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to do a little bit of reading. I know you can't see it very well, but the links for all this stuff is in the description of the video. There's links for everything I'm showing and links to some related other stuff too that goes with it. So I'm going to read through some of this, and then as I go, we'll stop along the way and talk about what those things mean. That's the wrong one. So the Alien and Sedition Acts of 1798. The summary says, in 1798, Congress passed the Alien and Sedition Acts with the support of the Adams administration. The Alien Act granted the president unilateral authority to deport non-citizens who were subjects of foreign enemies. The Sedition Act attacked the core of free speech and a free press, the right to criticize the government. The atmosphere in partisan politics was particularly fraught in the 1790s with the rise of the partisan press and the development of rival political parties. The Alien and Sedition Act stacked the deck against the political opposition, criminalizing criticism of the Federalist President John Adams, but not Vice President Thomas Jefferson, the leader of the political opposition. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison fought back, arguing in the Virginia and Kentucky resolutions that the acts violated the First Amendment's protection of free speech and a free press. While the Supreme Court never ruled on the constitutionality of the Alien and Sedition Acts, Jefferson defeated Adams in the election of 1800 once in office. President Jefferson allowed the acts to expire and pardoned those convicted under them. Now, that's so. There's more important stuff I got to read, but let me stop there because yes, this expired, but then after Pearl Harbor, it was brought back and reenacted. And it's actually what they used after Pearl Harbor to put Asian people in.
Yeah, it led to the internment of millions.
Yes.
Or at least hundreds of thousands. Sorry, I'm exaggerating.
Well, yeah. So whenever we talk about Trump in this context, and it says it was used to criminalize the opposition party, which we know he's already said he plans to do. It was used to take away free speech from the press and from people, which we know he said he plans to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So this act is to me, once he said this, and he said that this is how he plans to do it all. He said it multiple times now. To me, when he said that, the thing that I think about is that this is what he's been talking about all along, because he's been saying these things and it's always been like, well, yeah, but how does he plan to accomplish those things is the question. Because there are, there are ways the courts can at least stop him. He tried to do the Muslim ban and stuff, and the other travel ban. Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Stephanie, the main focus of it was originally for French immigrants, because when war broke out, they wanted to get them out of the country. So they allowed it to expire, and then under I guess it was Roosevelt, right? Under Roosevelt, it was reenacted. I say Roosevelt, I'm not sure of that. Maybe it'll say it here in a second, but it was definitely reenacted after World War II, and it's what was used to put the Asian people in camps. So anyway, let's go down to
Truman administration.
Truman. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. So the way that this works, and it says here, be it enacted by the United States of America Congress assembled, that whenever shall be declared war between any foreign nation or government, or any invasion or predatory incursion shall be perpetrated, attempted, or threatened against the territory of the United States by any foreign nation or governments, the President of the United States shall make public proclamations of the event. All native citizens, denizens, and subjects of the hostile nation or government, being males of the age of 14 years and upwards, who shall be within the United States and not actually naturalized, shall be liable to be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as alien enemies.
It has been amended to remove the word male.
Yeah, right.
In the new wording of it, they amended it and removed that male, anyone the age of 14 or older.
Yeah.
What exactly is a predatory incursion?
Well, I think that's really the problem with this thing is the wording is so vague. It allows for the president to interpret it however, and then you have to if you want to challenge that, you have to file a lawsuit, challenge it in a federal court, and then wait for it to get to the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, unless they file a complete injunction against it, which they may or may not do, it's the case. Once he's done it, it's done.
Right.
Um,
Once he shipped him out, they can't do anything to him anyway because he'd be immune.
Right. And Stephanie, you're right. We're not at war at Mexico, but it also says there that it
Predatory
can be
incursion.
an invasion or incursion or predatory nature because Donald Trump has repeatedly said that there's an invasion at the southern border. And that's why I say he's been planning this all along because he's used terminology that fits this bill exactly.
He repeats
Um,
that at every rally that it's an invasion.
yeah, yeah. And he said he's going to stop the invasion. He's going to liberate these places. He's using this language on purpose, and it gets worse though. So
Oh yeah.
as bad as this is, let's go down to crimes against the United States. Is that it? Yes, that's the one. Okay, so an act in addition to the act entitled an act for punishment of certain crimes against the United States. Now I'm going to read this and I'm going to try and read a little slower because this is very important. All right. It says any person shall unlawfully combine or conspire together with intent to oppose any measure or measures of the government of the United States which are or shall be directed by proper authority to impede the operation of any law in the United States, or to intimidate or to prevent any person holding a place or office in or under the government of the United States from undertaking, performing, or executing his trust or duty, and if any person or persons with the intent as aforesaid shall counsel, advise, attempt to procure any insurrection, riot, unlawful assembly, or combination where other such conspiracy, threatening, counsel, advice, or attempt shall have, I read something twice there, the proposed effect or not, he or she shall be deemed guilty of a high misdemeanor on conviction before any court in the United States having jurisdiction thereof shall be punished by fine not exceeding $5,000 and by an imprisonment of a term not less than 6 months nor exceeding 5 years and further at the discretion of the court may be beholden to find sureties for his good behavior. Yeah. This here it gets really bad. And be it further enacted that if any person shall write, print, utter, or publish, or shall cause or procure to be written, printed, uttered, or published, or shall knowingly and willingly assist in aid of writing, printing, uttering, or publishing any false, scandalous, malicious writing or writings against the government of the United States or either House of Congress of the United States or the President of the United States with the intent to defame said government of either House or said Congress or said President, or to bring to them either of them into contempt or disrepute, or to excite against them or either of any of them the hatred of good people of the United States, or to stir up sedition in the United States, or to excite any unlawful combinations therein, for opposing or resisting any law of the United States, or any act the President of the United States has done in pursuance of any such law, or any powers in him vested by the Constitution of the United States, to resist or oppose or defeat any law or act of said agent, encourage and abet and hostile. Yeah, okay. So that's you can be put in jail for that for not more than 2 years. If any person shall be prosecuted under this act for the writing or publishing of any libel aforesaid, it shall be lawful for the defendant upon trial of the cause to give in evidence in his defense the truth of the matter contained. Yeah. Same thing that libel things are about now. So what that means is me sitting here doing a stream talking about what a racist piece of shit Donald Trump is means that I could actually be charged.
Means late night talk show hosts are in a huge world of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So any speech that, because this is so vague, it allows them to deem any kind of speech in opposition as hateful or inciting or any of that. And this has been the plan. I mean, I can't believe he actually came out and said it. Really, I thought this would be something he probably just couldn't help himself, because I feel like this is something he wasn't supposed to say. And he
He said
said
the
it though
quiet part
multiple
out loud.
times. And Trump's not all that smart. So the fact that he called this out as the Alien and Enemies Act of 1798 and knew exactly what he was talking about means that this isn't something new to him. He didn't just come up with this. This has been part of the plan. And this is what allows them to, because he's always said, retribution, and he's going to put everybody in jail and all that stuff. And he's going to prosecute all of his, all the opposition and everything. And I mean, this is the plan to do that. And at this point, I have to say, I was always kind of like, I mean, I've always thought Trump was a piece of shit, but like I always tried to limit on how much I was like, it sounds like fascist stuff and it sounds like Germany and all those things. But then whenever you get down to like, okay, we're talking about naturalization of America. We're talking about removing everybody with brown skin. Because notice, when he's talking about deporting people, we're not talking about deporting people back to Europe or Canada or
Not even to Japan or China.
Yeah, right. It's not. It's only the brown people that he's concerned with. And what he does is he stokes up fear by saying, he goes to Aurora and says, oh, this little girl was murdered by Venezuelans. This family was attacked by Venezuelans. Well, those things did happen. But here's the thing. The crimes committed by migrants happen at a disproportionately lower rate than they do those committed by natural-born Americans. So what I'm saying is that of the proportion that the migrants make up in this country, you see how much crime's there and you try to split that evenly among people. They don't do their part in the crime. It's exponentially lower. So this whole thing is clearly fear-mongering, and it's clearly based on a lie, because he's not worried about the crimes being committed by white people. He's worried about the crimes that brown people are committing.
Well, I have any of the mass shootings or the school shootings been committed by brown people? Well, that's a tough
I
one.
don't think so.
None that I can think of off the top of my head. No.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things in California one time was, but that, I mean, like, not, I mean, just the fact that we can't think of one for sure, though, tells you the answer, right?
Exactly.
And
if there was one, it'd be right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, these things are incredibly crazy. Like, the fact that nearly half of our country, supports a person who is willing to do this to not just his political opponents, and not just to the brown people, not just to foreigners, but to American citizens. I mean, he said he's going to lock up late night hosts and people that speak out against him. I mean, if Trump ends up elected president, I'm not even so sure that I'll be allowed to do what I do. There's a good possibility that this kind of content will become illegal.
Good possibility.
Now that may be reaching, or again, I said, I was gonna kind of extrapolate and stuff. He hasn't made threats out against atheists or anything like that. That's not the case, but he has said out loud that people who speak out against him and all those things, that they'll be charged and all that. So it's definitely a possibility. And just to just to be thorough, and again, does it not share both the tabs? I'll be damned. All right, well, let's do it this way. So, just to be thorough, I also... Nope, wrong button. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I should have had this ready before. I usually do. Just to be thorough, though, I also included a link in the description to the actual document, so that you know this isn't just me making stuff up or whatever, or reading into it. And it gives a short description there of it as well. But the actual legal document's there, so you can see it too.
And since it was reenacted, it's been put into the U.S. code, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, right. All right. So I know you're not talking about that. I couldn't keep it to myself. What now? It's about the assassination attempt. Oh, and I mean, I don't know. The latest thing that they're calling an assassination attempt, I don't see. Like, I know that it was a dangerous situation and maybe he did plan to or whatever, but like, it's not. I haven't really even looked into it. To me, it's not at all surprising that that's even happening. I don't encourage political violence and I don't condone it,
No,
but
there's no place for political violence.
right. But I mean, Trump's rhetoric, things like this that he's promoting and stuff, I mean, it scares the shit out of people, and sometimes they don't act right during it. Like I'm not making excuses for it either. I'm just gonna stop there because I don't condone any of that, and it's not the right way to do it at all. And there's no good excuse for that happening. But the rhetoric and things are causing things to be amped up like this. But it's they try to say it's the rhetoric of the radical left, but the fact of the matter is it's Trump that's threatening to deport everybody in the country and throw people in jail and to do things that were done in Nazi Germany. So,
well, even when they start shouting "lock him up" at the rallies for Kamala Harris, she says, "Nope, let the courts do that. We need to beat him at the ballot box."
Yeah. I mean, the things that he is promising are fascists, and they are a threat to democracy. So when people say those things, it's because it's true, and we shouldn't stop telling the truth just because he continues to say it and stir people up. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to quit talking about the evil things that this man plans just because he continues to bring violence upon himself.
Well,
and that's how I feel about it.
what John Lovell just said in the chat is very true about Trump saying that he could stand in Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and he wouldn't lose any votes. He's pretty much proven that because he can say anything.
Oh yeah,
and nobody, he never gets held accountable for any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was any other candidate running for any office, I don't care if they were running for the school board, acting like that, they would be immediately disqualified. They'd be like, no, you are not going to be around our children.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And just to have a little fun here, I want to, well, maybe we should save that one for last and end on a good note. Let's save that one for last. Let's talk about this. So, this is Trump at the Chicago Economic Club and the Economic Club of Chicago. And he's doing an interview here, and he's went on and talked about tariffs and made it clear that he doesn't understand what tariffs mean, as we already know. And oh, good. Skeptic Spin is here. We'll get started now. Hey guys, welcome to the Kentucky Atheists. I'm not doing that. But whenever we talk, there was this whole thing with Biden where everybody was worried about, is he mentally fit and all those things because of things he said and did. So let's listen to Trump and hold him to the same standard here.
Should Google be broken up? I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
The question is about Google, President Trump.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, seriously,
He asked
what,
him, should Google be broken up? And he answered that he hadn't got over the court ruling that they didn't have to throw out a bunch of ballots.
yeah, that's a good answer. Good answer.
It was a good answer to something, just not the question that was asked.
I think he has a whole different
It
show
wasn't-
running in his head.
Right. And I get that sometimes during debates and things that these guys, they'll be asked a question and they'll have something else they're trying to get out. And both sides are guilty of that. But this is like, this statement took place like midway through this thing. And this is linked in the description as well. You can go watch the whole video. The whole thing is a disaster. And if I would have had time, we would have covered the whole thing. But it's like over an hour long, and it would have taken probably 2 or 3 hours to get through it. So I've got a few clips, but the whole thing is linked in the description if you want to go watch it.
And just to get up to date for this, I was watching it at 1.75 speed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I did that too.
Yeah, that was a disaster of an interview.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So we've got a few clips here, all from the same event, and we're going to go through them and talk about this stuff here. Here's the next. I didn't catch the first couple words there, and it's important in this because he.
Google, President Trump.
Yeah.
You move too quick.
No, you got to be able to finish a thought because it's very important. You know, this is big stuff we're talking about. You can't go that quickly.
You've gone from the dollar to
So let
Macron.
me just tell you. So I said, no, I'm just telling you basic. It's called the weave. It's all these different things happening.
Yeah.
So let me just say. So I said to Mnuchin.
So that's Trump making excuses for why he's given these. Like they thought something might be wrong with him, I guess, and they're like, you're not answering the questions. You're saying silly things. What's the deal here? And he's like, oh, it's the weave. It's part of the plan. And it's like,
I honestly wish just one time they just let him keep babbling. Just let him keep going.
Well, you know, I think the closer we've gotten to the election, it's played on him, and it seems like the more times that he goes and speaks, the crazier shit he says, and the crazier the stuff is that he does. The other set of clips that we have are absolute batshit crazy stuff, I think. Like, not a medical diagnosis either. I'm just saying, like, they're pretty fucking wild.
My wife actually said, "What the?" about it. she was like, "What the?" when she saw it. What we're gonna do last.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff. You know, if Trump was just, for example, Joe Biden may have slowed down some, obviously, and I get, like, even though I still think he's a great president, has done a great job, and probably could have continued to do a great job. The fact of the matter is that the public didn't have confidence in that. And for him to run as president, they had to have confidence that he was capable of doing it. So I get it. I understand completely.
Well, people were judging him just by his performance in the debate against Donald Trump. When, you know, previously at the State of the Union, he was on fire. He gave a great State of the Union.
Right. Well, the right wing had put out so much propaganda about he's too old and crazy and all this stuff. And whenever everybody was just waiting, and the first bad performance he had, they were like, oh, yeah, see, he's right. Yeah. And everybody was guilty of that. But again, like, while I don't think Joe Biden is the crazy old man they make him out to be, I do think that the public didn't have confidence in him, and that it made him less electable as president. And, you know, it's a dirty game like that, you know, like, you know what happened with Hillary and Bernie, you know, Bernie might have won the presidency that year, but they wanted to put Hillary there.
Yep.
We're going to look at his dance party, Justin, here in a minute.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And the funnier part is the people in the background and the people in the crowd, and just watch them too.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Whenever the people are just like, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
Let's finish this first and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, I took it off.
Saved it. We saved our steel. Now, what was left, because we've lost so much, but there are certain companies you have to have. There are certain things you have to have. Steel, you have to have. If you go to war, there's a possibility you go to war. I kept us out of war. I was the only president in 82 years that kept you out of a war, except I defeated ISIS, but I inherited that war. There's no wars.
So they're clapping for that, but what he just did was he was talking about putting tariffs on steel from China, and then he went to, but if you have a war, you need stuff, and you don't want to have a war. I kept us from having wars. I was great at keeping from having wars. We went through 3 different topics there in the matter of like 2 sentences. And it's just, Donald Trump is obviously not thinking clearly. He's obviously not capable of the mental acumen it would take to be president of the United States.
Come on, even his base has to realize this is not 2016 Donald Trump anymore.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot more dog whistles involved with what he does now. I think that Donald Trump says a lot of the things like this Alien Sedition Act of 1798. I think that he knows, he's aware that that's been reenacted, and that's not really what it is anymore. It's actually the aliens and sedition, whatever code in the United States code now. So he knows that there's a newer version of this, but referring back to the old one seems like it probably stirs up a certain group of people, and a lot of these things are targeted at white supremacists. And I can show examples of that stuff and everything. That's not really what I was prepared to do here today, but there are some really good examples of some of the things that Trump says and does, like all the times that he quotes Hitler, and there's some symbology and numbers and all kinds of things that he purposely says and puts out there that are related to white supremacist dog whistles. So those people, I feel like, are being stirred up to vote and to act based on this. And that's a group that normally didn't vote because they were against the government, both sides of it. But they have somebody making it okay to be that way now, and okay to try and add that stuff into American policy and law and to act based on it. It's all an appeal to emotion anyway, and get the hateful people to be hateful is kind of common sense if that's your goal.
But Joe, there were fine people on both sides.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was, I can't believe it. Every time Trump does those things, it's like, oh my God, he just said that. He's done. Like his political career is over.
Seriously, like I said, if it was any candidate.
Yeah. Trump claims he defeated ISIS, but yeah.
Kind of think ISIS is still around.
They're just not as powerful as they used to be. They're still doing their thing, but they're not ISIS anymore, is why he thinks he defeated ISIS. So there's more of this just unhinged stuff here. We'll let him keep going. I did it again.
And by the way, and I think it's very important. You can go, I call it the weave. You can call it, you have the weave as long as you end up in the right location at the end. But while we're talking about it, we have never been so close to World War III as we are right now. with what's going on in Ukraine and Russia and the Middle East.
Well, let's.
I had no wars in the whole world. Think of it. And I talked them out of wars. I talked plenty of countries out of wars. I had the whole world, other than ISIS, which I inherited, and I knocked out ISIS in a matter of weeks. It was supposed to take 4 to 5 years. I did it in a matter of weeks. We actually have a great military. We don't know how to use it, but we have a great
President Trump, with great respect, I was asking you about tariffs. You've gone off about that. Seeing you brought up tariffs and foreign policy, many people.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's all about
question was about tariffs. And this, what I mean, he just makes it up. I defeated ISIS in a matter of weeks, and I did, but at the same time, he had no wars. And it's like, yeah, you didn't start any new wars. The troops came out of Afghanistan after you left office, which you like to point out because it didn't go so well. But it was part of your plan.
Yeah, he's the one that set the expiration date on it.
Yeah, he's the one that did that. And like, also, you didn't have any wars, but still over 1 million Americans died from COVID. Like,
that's probably why we didn't have any wars. We were all sick with COVID.
Yeah, there wasn't any wars. Everybody was in their damn house. Everybody inside popping off their fruits and watermelons and shit. It wasn't any time for war. But it's like, he just, I don't know, he just says stuff, and then people are like, oh yeah, good. And it's like, yeah, but that was total bullshit what he just said. It's and you know, I don't really talk much religion on this show, but it's so much like dealing with the creationists, because they just say things that in no way comport with reality at all. And it's like, wait, what did you just say? Like, he lived to be 900 years old. What? Like, it's just things like that don't make any damn sense, that we know. It's like gaslighting at its peak gaslighting. I mean, it's just, it's awful. But, you know, like, I don't know. People want to vote for this, and it's a sad state of affairs that are, what is it?
Well, even as a little kid in Sunday school, when they gave me those ridiculous ages for the people in the Old Testament, I was smart enough I was like, wait a minute, what happens if I divide by 12? Oh yeah, 69. That's pretty old for a Bible dude. He wasn't 600 years old. He was 69 months old or whatever. I think they were counting months.
His bleach strategy didn't work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that didn't work. And
that's the thing, you know. Yeah.
It's going to clear up by April.
On.
COVID's going to clear up by April.
Me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You did robot for a second.
I logged out of my computer on accident.
Uh-oh. I can hear you.
I accidentally
I'm talking to myself in the are the guys in the show still? Okay, you're back.
That's happened a couple of times on this show, you know.
That's okay.
But there's a little bit more to this, and then we'll get into some fun stuff, guys.
She came out, she just said, the Green New Scam. She just named all these things.
President Trump, the issue at the markets are looking at the fact you are making all these promises. Latest one was car loans. You're flooding the thing with giving giveaways.
But we're going to grow.
I was actually quite kind to you. I used 7 trillion. The upper estimate is 15 trillion. People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
yeah, but you don't know.
They have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous debts.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong about it.
You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong about it.
No, you're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people. There are business
you're wrong.
people.
You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff. You've been.
Yeah, that's not really an argument. But so let me give you a little context of what he's talking about there. So Trump at the beginning of this interview talks about how he's going to impose all these huge tariffs on countries of 60% and 200% and 3,000%. He just says all kinds of crazy numbers. Well, the guy asks him, he said, well, you've made all these promises that you're going to do away with taxes on tips and all this stuff, and you're going to do these tax cuts for billionaires, and now you're talking about these tariffs, and the tariffs are going to bring in maybe $200 billion, but the things that you have said you're going to do, when the committees have looked at them and give their opinions on it, they came up with that it's going to create 7 trillion. Yeah, yeah, it's such a big number. I had to think about it there. $7 trillion in debt. And he's telling him here, he's saying, I was being nice because the actual number they gave was up to $15 trillion in debt. And he's talking about his plans at most would bring in $200 billion. And he's, Trump ends up acting like an asshole. So he lays it on him and says, look, I was trying to be cool, but if you really want to get down to it, you're full of shit. And
he wants to treat America just like his businesses and his casinos and just bankrupt us, I think.
Yeah, who bankrupts a casino? Like,
yeah, that's a money that's some license to print money, and he screwed that up.
It's mathematically you're guaranteed to win. The house always fucking wins. Donald Trump lost at a casino. Okay, guys. Why should he be in any position to run our country, which very much is a business? I mean, when you get down to it, why should he, who has filed for bankruptcy 8 times and lost at everything he fucking does, why would he be a good person to do this? And, people always say Trump's going to save America and things. Like, never mind the fact that he's going to destroy everything, obviously. But, like, how does he plan to save anything? Because all I hear is bad things. And he talks about, the crazy spending of the radical left and stuff. Well, let's look at that. Trump created like $7 trillion, $8 trillion in debt during his presidency. Guess what's happened since Biden's been president? That number is lower, not higher. Like, it's gaslighting to its peak. I'm going to sit and just tell you shit that everything shows you that it's not true. But he knows that a percentage of people, especially the people that support the hateful shit he does, are going to just say, fuck it, that doesn't matter anyway. He hates the same people I do, and he makes it okay, and that's what we're going to do. And that's why it's all dog whistles. It's all code to talk to the white supremacists. Okay, he's a crazy old piece of shit too. Let's get into that. My last video got demonetized, and it wasn't even that bad. I'm sure they're demonetizing the shit out of this one. It's common here. Don't worry about it. I get demonetized on about every live stream I end up monetizing. I don't monetize none of my members' live streams or none of my this show is the only live stream. No, the Sunday show. I monetize this and the Sunday show. I don't monetize anything else I do. And they almost always get demonetized. It never works.
That's funny.
But all right, let's get this off here.
Real quick, did you hear him pronounce Arizonans the other day? Trump? That was like the funniest thing I've heard.
What did he call them?
He called them Azerasians.
Yeah, something Azeronians or something.
I think, he got that really wrong.
Yeah, I did actually see that. Let's see. I know this is going to be good. Here we go. What do we see? Oh, come on, show it now. Why did it do that? Show the one I put it on. The core of the entire thing is the state aiming to destabilize our country enough and place enough, usually Republican politicians, they have under the control and charge so that they can. Yeah. I agree. Good evening, all from the Unshaw podcast. Hey, how's it going? People sure do like Trump and Jesus. Yeah, they must, because I mean, they'll support him no matter what awful thing he says or does or how fucking crazy he is. They continue to support him no matter what. So that sounds kind of like Jesus too.
$30 on
I got
Trump.
$30 on Trump to win. Yeah, I know. What is monetized? So I can turn monetization on my videos and it will show ads and stuff. I also have like memberships and super chats and super thanks and all that stuff that people can do. But I always monetize like these kind of videos so that I can make a few bucks off of them. And YouTube, I mean, at most I make like $2 or $3 off of it over the course of a month. So it's like YouTube shuts it down though. They don't let me do it. But you know, I have Patreon supporters and memberships and super chats and all that. So it's not, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm on the fence about it a lot about not monetizing anything because it shows ads to people and like it kind of sucks. So I may switch to not monetizing any of my live streams and just monetize my recorded content. I'm not sure. I'm new at this. So if we end up with another Trump administration, we will face World War III because Russia will behave worse than they have in Syria and Ukraine over the past 2 decades. Yeah. I mean, if Trump goes in the office, I look for him to just give Ukraine up to Russia. He's not not another dime or anything will go to them.
No, he'll give Putin free will. Do what you want. Just leave us alone.
Not sure if any of my vids get monetized. I'm okay with it. You're not over 1,000 subscribers. You can't get ad revenue. Or did you hit 1,000 since last time?
I thought Maya had 1,000.
Yeah. So the way so you monetize at 500 and that lets you get memberships and super chats and all the super stuff and shopping and all that. The only thing that changes at 1,000 is that you can monetize for ad revenue, and that's the monetized I'm talking about. I don't, you know, and I'm just pointing it out because they demonetize it. I don't give a shit about it. No, but they are sure to tell me when I can't get any money on a video. Yeah, they do, don't they? They still point out that it violates for ad, whatever it says, ad friendly or whatever. Yeah, they'll still tell you. Yeah,
we had a stream one night that got shut down by YouTube, and we all got emails about it.
So, Yahooligan, Justin, the way that works is where you're on paid YouTube. Whenever you watch my videos, I get a cut of that. They pay me when people with YouTube Premium and stuff watch. So, but since this will get demonetized, I won't get that. I mean, like I said, it's a couple dollars a month. I'm not really upset about it. It's just the point of them marking my videos with that little yellow dollar sign that bothers me. It's not really it's not the money. It's the point of them fucking doing it. Because I'm talking about what a racist piece of shit Nazi Trump is. Like, Sydney Raptor at Sydney Raptor. Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. Not for me. What's up, Al? And Maya, thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Hey, Al.
I loved Bad Science Sunday this week. It was good. Okay, so let's look at some fun stuff now. So Trump also did a town hall with well, let's just go ahead and pull it up on screen here. So Trump also did a town hall the other day, a couple days ago in Pennsylvania. And we had the dog murderer, Kristi Noem, was the host of this thing. And Trump was a town hall. The idea is for Trump to ask questions and to, or not for Trump to ask questions. Fuck that. It was for the audience to be able to ask questions, just people in the audience. And they've got people up on stage there. Those are usually the questions, and they're vetted or whatever sometimes. And yeah, everybody take this time to go and pee. Does everybody need a pee break? I can play a commercial. So the idea is that they ask questions, and usually a candidate does one of these and sets and answers questions for an hour or two, whatever. And they usually go through several questions about the economy and immigration, the same old shit. Well, that's not what happened here. And what happened, I'm going to explain this, then we'll watch some clips of it. What happened here is Trump packed way too many people over the fire code amount into a hot room with no air conditioning and the doors closed because they have to have extra security and stuff. So they wouldn't open the doors until after 2 people passed out in there and had to be taken out by medical personnel. And Trump answered about 4 questions. And then after that, he spent 39 minutes dancing to music.
If you can call it dancing.
Trump, as you know, is a straight dog on the dance floor, right? He's So this is when the first person passed out. And I may get in trouble over some of the music in this, but I don't care.
We love that man.
I'm sorry this isn't very loud. So I didn't show the first part actually, but first he played the song Ave Maria with no words. Then he had him play Ave Maria again, only with Pavarotti singing this time, while he stood there and swayed back and forth like that for several minutes. Not a short sign. Kristi Noem just trigger finger itching to kill a dog.
The people over there in the gallery?
Yeah. Yeah, watch them.
I love the looks on their faces over there.
Yeah. So he does this on both sides of the stage. And you want to see something funny. Trump's dance moves are funny, but watch the people if you want to see some funny shit. Because they roll their eyes at him and just look at him like he's stupid. And I mean, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. This is a town hall meeting. He's a presidential candidate. He spent 40 minutes fucking swaying back and forth on stage. Like, this is the guy that people want to make president. It makes me want to pull my hair out, but I keep it cut too fucking short. For that reason. That's why. That's why I got all this forehead, guys. Golly. All right. Sorry. And Kristi Noem, I can't get over her being there. It's just like, for real. Like, of all the people, you picked the fucking old Yeller's murderer. Like, yeah, here we go. More Ave Maria, more swaying on the other side of the stage. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. I'm not showing all 40 minutes of it. This is just some clips.
There's people here in the crowd looking around. Like,
yeah, look. Kristi Noem's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. There's no dogs here. This motherfucker's swinging his arms around. Like, what is going on? She doesn't even know what's going on.
Are you okay, sir? Are you sure?
She's already cocked the trigger on her gun because she thinks this motherfucker needs put down. Like,
that one should have just went a little longer.
Yeah, he's telling her that he's seen a stray out in the parking lot. There she goes.
This has been an honor tonight. We could do another question or two if you'd like, but probably.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one? Do you want to do?
All right. So yes, you all want to do a couple more questions? How many questions you think he does? Go ahead and guess in the chat.
Yeah.
Go ahead and guess in the chat. How many more questions do they ask? I'll wait. I've told you they only asked 4 through the whole thing, so it's less than 4. Go ahead and guess. I'll wait. Deviant Outcast wins it. 0 fucking questions. Here we go, guys. This is your Republican nominee for president.
You know, it's. But it
she's back.
How about this? We'll play YMCA and we'll go home. But
For
listen,
fuck's sake. All right.
And
So he said we're going to play YMCA and go home. Here's YMCA.
history of this band and this song.
I think he probably thinks it's racist, or he wouldn't do it. I mean, honestly, that's what I thought about earlier, because I was like, why has he been all about YMCA? I mean, he comes out and he does the jerk off dance and like, I mean, hold on. Let me back up here, folks. Let me just give you, we want YMCA playing. Hold on. All right. All right. Let me pause it. Let me switch the screen back. Hold on. I'm going to go. You're still here. I'm just going to make you disappear for a second.
All right, cool.
Where is my settings for this? Here we go. All right, guys. Now, can I play this? Sorry to make this so confusing. All right.
Oh, I thought we were going home after YMCA.
Yeah, we didn't go home after YMCA. Here's the next song, Hallelujah, which what, like, why?
Nice segue, by the way.
Yeah. I'm a felon. You think if I do the jerk off dance, I can be president?
Hey, it's possible. Look.
oh, fuck. He did this.
Still going.
Here's another song. We're still just packed in the hot fuck. Look, the people are standing up. They're like, let's fucking leave.
The people in the crowd are all looking at each other and just like leaning in and whispering to each other and stuff.
Yeah. So then after that, the world ended before the rally did. And the rapture. 39. Yeah, you're right. I did say 39 minutes at the beginning, Justin. So sorry that I rounded up. That was misrepresenting what happened for sure. This crazy fuck who wants to deport millions of people, throw people in jail that don't like him because he's a small person, and make like he wants. I mean, just all those things.
And he enables so much hate.
Yeah. He's such a hateful, racist, bigoted, Nazi fuck, and yet he stands on stage and dances for 40 fucking minutes to stupid shit, and he can't dance. And I mean, if he was a good dancer, maybe it'd be like, well, there he goes dancing. I mean,
look at it.
We watched Jesco White the other day on this channel, and at least he can dance. He's crazy as fuck. Said he had ashes for brain cells and shit. Like, he huffed gas his whole life. And he's way smarter than Donald Trump. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Like, I don't either.
At least with the Jesus stuff and everything, that shit was like preached for thousands of years, and like there's a following that builds up into believing it and things. Like with this, it's like this dude just came out of nowhere and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's good. He said it was good. It must be good. Yeah.
My wife and I have had a friend for over 20 years, and she married a Trump supporter, and now I don't want to be friends with her anymore. Because she turned right into him.
Yeah. No dog killers brought on stage. Limit songs to 2. One at the entrance and one as the exit. Oh no, they played 5 or 6 before this ever started, Sumali. And both should be clipped, not played entirely. No dancing. Who the fuck is running his shit? Yeah, exactly.
You notice the songs that he's limited to using now, because every other artist in the world has said, hey, stop using our songs.
Yeah.
Send him a cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
Everybody, Pink, Foo Fighters, Cher, everybody.
Yeah,
Celine Dion, do not use our song.
if he would bust out breakdancing, I would be like, well, at least the motherfucker can breakdance,
Do a
He
little
may
roll
be
slide at
racist,
least.
but he can breakdance.
It'd be entertaining at bare minimum.
Yeah, just 40 minutes of him swaying back and forth, like having an old man moment, like what? I mean, I've said the F word so many times. What the actual fuck though? Like what has happened to reality? Am I
Like
just so old that I don't understand the world anymore? Is that what it is? Because it makes me feel like I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone.
And I'm even older than you, so imagine how I see this world. Like, this is nuts.
It's sad. It is. It's sad that democracy dies in a roar of cheers for a fucking Nazi.
I've
Like,
voted in every single election since I turned 18 years old, except for one, and that's when I was in boot camp for the Navy, right? And I cannot even wrap my head around that a felon is running for president.
yeah, I can't work at a fucking gas station. He can be president. Again, what the actual fuck is going on? Like, it nothing makes any sense anymore. And it's like, okay, I know that I'm from Kentucky. I know that there's racist people around. Like, I know that racist people exist. I know that bigots and things, like, I know they're there. And yeah, it's always just been like, well, whatever, there's crazy people out there, and we try to educate people and have them do better and stuff, but there's always going to be extreme crazy people. But then it's like all of a sudden, in the matter of a couple of years, all the extreme crazy people took over, and it's like, oh, you want to fact check us? We don't like facts. You're fact checking us. We're not talking to you. We want to lie.
That's no fun. How's fact checking fun?
You said you weren't going to fact check me. You were just going to let me speak unopposed. Some images from the last clip where you have Trump smiling like an actual parody of a dumb with Trump Vance plastered everywhere. And I mean, it's not mere shit. Yeah. I don't. That this has been on all the networks and stuff. No, blessed be he, you're not blocked.
Yep.
But if you start getting rowdy, I'll start asking for super chats to time you out again. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to threaten you with it. I won't do that even if you get rowdy today. I would have if I wouldn't have said it, but since I said it, I feel like it's not nice.
And yeah, hooligan, I agree with you. You don't have to be crazy to live here, but it helps. I mean, like, Joe lives in Kentucky. I currently live in Pennsylvania, but I live right in the middle of Trump country.
Yeah.
I mean, I am surrounded by Trump signs. People drive by my house and throw beer bottles at my Harris signs. First off, you shouldn't be drinking and driving, but second off, stop using my yard as a garbage can.
Right. So, I don't know, I don't know at what point. I mean, I get it. It's education. At least that's my feelings on it. It all goes back to education, because if people were more educated about history, which they're trying to get rid of, and if people were more educated about a lot of these things, about how the economy works, about foreign policy, things that matter whenever it comes to picking a president, if people were educated in those things, I mean, I think this would be different. But
bring back civics classes, real ones.
Yeah. What's up, Jester? I'm good. How you doing? Glad you came. A man of my word, Joe. Good for you. Hey, I don't tell lies, blessed be he. I'm honest. I'll to a fault many times, but I may have a lot of things that aren't great about me, but I don't lie. I won't lie to you. All right, so I've damn near got a headache from getting worked up over that.
Yeah,
because I watched these things already once, preparing for this, but I didn't say, I just sat and watched it and shook my head, once I actually get to talking about it. And I'm like, it's fucking crazy that this is even a thing. Like that my redneck ass from Eastern Kentucky if I'm sitting here, I'm nobody, and I'm not. I mean, like, I've got a little bit of college education and stuff, but like, I'm not any. You don't have to listen to me by any means. But the fact of the matter that I can sit here without really knowing all that much about anything and point out how crazy this shit is should mean something. Like, it's
You would think that people smarter than us would definitely get it,
right.
and they don't. Some of them just don't. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's
It's a weird world we live in these days.
I
Weird
mean,
world.
so look, I understand that there's like different groups of people that vote for Trump. You have the people that do it purely for financial gain, or at least believe there's financial gain in it for them. You have that group. And like, if they come and, they don't have to say Trump's going to save America, but they can say, well, I'm going to make a few more bucks for it, so I'm going to vote for Trump. That's honest. I mean, it's a shitty reason, but it's honest. I'll give you that. Okay, fine. And you can tell me that, well, if you want to come out and tell me I hate brown people and Trump's going to get rid of all the brown people, I mean,
Well, at least you're being honest.
Again, it's an awful position, but it's honest. But to sit and tell me that Trump is some kind of motherfucking savior and that he's got the best plan and going to save the country from something and like all this other shit, like, it doesn't, that's not the case. His plans, they already know, would create more debt than it would more than double what the debt is. Like, his plan, he's promised to cut taxes on tips and overtime and energy.
In another little piece of that interview that didn't come up, he said that the debt will be 150% of our GDP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds workable.
He just made that up. Okay. So he has all of these things. I mean, he's not going to do any of these. We know from Trump's been president before. Remember, he didn't do any of the shit he said. None of it. He gave tax cut to billionaires. That is the only thing that he did. He tried to ban Muslims from coming in the country, and
he stacked the Supreme Court and took away women's rights.
He did say he was going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. He did promise that. I mean, so after he was president, though. But Trump has, he did this, so we know he's lying. But and the thing of it is these tariffs that he's talking about,
which he doesn't understand at all how they work.
Right. So right now, the idea is a 20% tariff on foreign goods, on all foreign goods. And I'll be generous here, and I'll tell you how Trump thinks it works, even though it doesn't work this way. He thinks that if you put tariffs on these companies, they're not going to want to pay the tariffs, and people aren't going to buy the products because they're so overpriced that those companies will be then forced to move to the United States and open companies here. But see, the problem with that is that 20% that they add to it, even if those companies paid it, which they don't, it goes to the consumer. Even if those companies were paying that, though, it would still be cheaper to make some of that stuff overseas. They're not gonna do that.
And even existing American companies use parts and pieces and products from overseas, which is tariffs, are going to make every American product made here go up.
Yeah. It's adding tariffs to things. All that does is pass it on to the consumers. And with Trump, he's given these tax cuts to billionaires. They'll be able to afford things because it won't matter. It'll all equal out to them. But it's going to all be the lower class and the middle class that pay for these things. The lower class, that's not really the best way to say that. But it's going to be the poor people that pay for these things.
Oh, yeah.
And Trump has, there's the trade, so he's going to cause a trade war, and no one's going to trade with the United States as a result of these things if he keeps raising them and stuff, which he promises to do. And when that happens, there's billion-dollar companies that run on trade. Like that's their whole thing. They do international trade. They're part of a world economic plan, you know? Like we live in a world economy now. It's not just America. And whenever he does that, he's gonna cause a huge recession, first of all. And the prices that you think inflation was crazy. Wait till you see the taxes they have to add on things just to sell them to Americans when he does that. We'll be able to buy American stuff, but it's not going to be cheap either because all those companies, they have to buy stuff too.
Yep.
And they're going to pass all that on to the consumer. When the cost for them goes up, all that gets passed to the consumer. None of it gets charged to these countries. They don't pay any of that, and they're not going to. And he doesn't understand how that works. It's only going to, it is going to destroy the United States economy because the crazy man that just stood on stage and danced for 40 minutes doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Not one clue what a tariff is. He should just go back and read the very first tariff and what it was for. It's pretty educational.
Oh, I see somebody's checking out my meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, we're coming up on 8 o'clock, and that's really kind of the goal I was shooting for. Mexico is going to make a mint too because Trump burned down NAFTA. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to get in NAFTA. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, NAFTA versus the USMCA, Trump's Act.
Yeah. So, anyway, I had made a video this week, and this is something, you know, I've got it bookmarked here. Let's just do this. So, what I did on the video where I just read what Trump says, you know, I didn't add anything to it. I didn't add any emotion to it or anything, but I want to show you guys a little something here. So let me put us back on this screen real quick and share screen.
I one time read a transcript of one of his speeches.
So that's what this is. So is it showing up? Nope. Let's get it up there. So there's this website, and it has transcripts for every speech that Donald Trump does. So we'll go look at the one we just watched. And I can pull this up, and we go down here, and it has what everybody said. It has, you know, and then we get here to Donald Trump, and we'll just scroll down here. We'll find a Okay. They're the biggest factories ever built for cars. They're going to wipe out our country. If she wins, and she won't, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. If she wins and she's not going to be thinking about, I couldn't, every speech I made having to do with cars, but every speech I made having to do with tariffs, I'd mentioned that our country is being threatened by Mexico. Now, all of those things, beyond even the car companies, all of those things are now dead. I asked him, will they start? Probably not. They're dead as a doornail. If she gets in, I'll start up again. Like, what in the fuck? Those are just his words. It's not anything else.
That's a giant word salad. That is not sentences, or it's not even a coherent thought.
Yeah, it's let's see. Let's find another one here. It's kind of back and forth. When you let him talk, that's when it gets crazy. No, it'll go quickly. In fact, I'll tell you, there's another theory is that the tariff, you make it so high, so horrible, so obnoxious that they'll come right away. When I do the 10%, 10% is really, first of all, 10% when you collect it, it is hundreds of billions of dollars. The number that you're talking about, all reducing deficit, but really, so there's two ways of looking at a tariff. Yeah, like that was a little more sensible, but still, like this guy's a nutcase.
He's an absolute nutcase.
And that's just reading his words. Yes, that's I'm reading his words. I'm not doing anything other to it. No, those I'd go back and play the video, Justin. I already took down the screen share, but you go back and look at it. All I did was read his words. Here, I'll give a link in the chat to that site. Go read any paragraph where he talks. I mean, it's something else. Can I do it that way? Hold on. Let me open the page and get the thing so I don't screw up the stream. Yeah, I didn't put this in the description, so here it is in chat. So that, like, whenever I went and found this and I just read some of the things that he said, I was like, I'm just going to make shorts reading his actual words. That's it. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to pull it up and read his words. Maybe I should show that whole transcript on screen while I do it so people can see that I'm not adding anything to it, but I'm not. I mean, it's literally what he says. It's not anything else. I don't know. It's just so crazy. It's like it's so just batshit nuts that I don't understand it really. But anyway, so before we get out of here today, hold on, where's my thing at? We want this. Why is it not doing it? There we go. Before we get out of here today, I do want to give a big thanks to Let's Farm
Thanks for having me.
Coming on. And Let's Farm, you told me that you actually hold an elected position where you live, right?
Yes, I do. I'm the judge of elections.
So what does that entail?
Well, I have to set up the voting machines. It's my job to ensure that everybody who comes to vote is eligible, is allowed to vote, no matter what we have to do. Either, they can vote on the machines or emergency or provisional ballots. We always make sure that people's rights are, taken care of. At the end of the night, I close up everything, count the votes, and I have to certify them with my boss.
Yeah.
So I certify the votes in my district. So
yeah,
I'd be one of them people Trump probably go after. Although we're a very tiny district, so I don't think that I would get. And the area I live in, the county that I live in, we were mentioned on CNN once because we vote like 87% Trump.
Oh yeah, he's not going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, he'll leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's neat that you're part of that chain of command, especially because Pennsylvania is a really important state in this election that may end up deciding the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm more worried about my boss, because if anything goes wrong, it's all going to come down on her. Our election.
We've got a question for you here.
No, but it helps.
Is the beard a requirement to hold that job? Is it an indication of how good you are at it? I bet you're awesome at it. Awesome question, Dustin.
Well, I have to run again next year.
Well,
so
your beard will be longer by then, so you should be okay.
We hope so.
Hey, Randy, good to see you. So, hey, Sydney, I didn't say hi to you. It's good to see you too.
I didn't say hi to Zero. He's from over at my channel.
Oh, okay. And Zero, you said you're taking in all this information. All the links for all that stuff is in the description of this video. And I mean, I encourage you. I'm not quote mining or just pulling out things out of context. Go watch the entire videos. I encourage everyone to do it.
Please do.
Yeah, be informed. I want you to be. But yeah, I put all the links for that stuff there, and I always try to do that because for this, I think it's really important to have the entire videos ready. Unfortunately, I can't go through every crazy thing Trump says, because then we would have to do 24-hour streams, because he constantly says crazy fascist shit all day long. But And you know, I'm sorry that if I cuss too much or get overly excited or whatever, guys, but like this is something that it just blows my mind, and I think it's scary and awful, and it's I just don't know, you know, like, and I see people like my girlfriend is a fellow atheist, and we've been together for 10 years, and I have a huge amount of respect and love for my girlfriend. She is a wonderful, wonderful girl for putting up with me for the last 10 years through health problems and drugs and all that shit. And so, like, me and her talk, and I'll be like, man, Trump just said this, and she's like, yeah, okay. She's like, she agrees that Trump's crazy and awful person and all those things. She doesn't get worked up about it. So when I'm telling her stuff, she's just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, damn it, you're not getting upset with me about this. You're not upset enough.
Can't you see how angry I am?
Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm lucky, because my wife feels the same way about him. She is very excited to vote blue this time around. You know, it's so to me, it actually feels good to be voting for someone instead of being someone who had to vote against Trump.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted him president.
Yeah.
And if you're an American, vote.
Right, just go vote. That's what I say. Like, I don't. Of course, I encourage everyone to vote blue and for Kamala Harris and against Trump and whatever. But I don't really need to say any of that. Just go vote, because if people vote, they lose. That's we know that. When people vote, Republicans lose. And since the Republicans have went batshit crazy Nazi, then you know we have to vote.
If we got rid of the Electoral College, we'd never have another Republican president.
Yeah, no doubt. No
We
doubt.
would
When's the last
never
time
have another one.
George Bush Senior was the last time they won the vote, wasn't?
I think Junior. I think Junior did it. Won the popular vote once, and then that was very.
On the second term, yeah, he did, because
and
of
it was
the
iffy.
9/11 shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
But it's rare. I mean, Reagan before him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, all this Project 2025 is bad enough, and we've went over a lot of that, and maybe if we need to go over some of it again, I can. But like, we went over, not all of it, of course, it's 900 pages, but we went over a lot of the awful stuff that's in Project 2025. But whenever it comes to this stuff, there's no denying this. This came out of Trump's mouth, and we looked at what it actually says. I've given everybody that source to what it actually says, and he said he's going to do all those things over the course of the last few months. He said he's going to lock up the people on late night and the people on news channels, and
said ABC should have their license revoked.
Yeah, he's threatened to do all of those things. So to think whenever he brings up the law that he's going to use to do it, that it's rhetoric or hyperbole or that he's not serious. He's fucking serious, okay, guys? I mean, you've seen the jerk off dance. He's serious.
Even on Meidas Touch, they just say, just listen to what he says and believe him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't try and make excuses for it. Like, he has a responsibility as a politician running for office to be clear about what he plans to do. And he's doing that. He's being clear. But people want to act like, oh, don't be scared, and you're like, we're the ones fear mongering.
Yeah, he's just talking tough.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's like a 1960s Batman episode. It's just things are just that they don't make sense, and it's like, how are people? I think whenever he says something, because whenever he first ran, I was like, there's no way this dude's gonna run or win, because people are gonna like, look how crazy he is. I'm laughing at him and stuff, and he's just like, and then it's like, oh wait, people are taking that serious. Like,
I came home after turning in the election results the night that he won, and I sat here and watched my TV in complete disbelief as his numbers were rising.
So blessed be he. I don't have a problem with putting America first. I actually would say I put human well-being and flourishing first. I mean, that's kind of like, I'm a humanist, so that's kind of the position I'm going to take. But let me explain something to you about putting America first. Putting America first is actually a dog whistle for we're going to put white Americans first. That's what he means when he says this. It's racist. It's always been racist. He's the man is a racist. America first is just white Americans first. The Americans that support me first. And he proves that. Because what does he do? He's threatening to throw everybody brown out of the country. Like, so there's no way to really argue otherwise. I mean, you have to, whenever you look at the things that Trump says in the under the racist lens that they should be looked at, like, because he's very clearly, I mean, again, we've went over his racist stuff going back through the 80s, all the way up through his last presidency until now. The man has done racist thing after racist thing after racist thing. If you're going to say he's not a racist, you're going to have to provide something more than his record, because it says that he is.
Yeah,
he's not racist. It's forward looking. That's just not true. It's not forward looking. Forward looking would be, we're going to work together as a world economy to make the world better for all people, to ensure the freedom and democracy of all people, to make sure that people aren't starving to death everywhere. What Trump's doing isn't forward looking. It's looking backwards. It's the Act of 1798. How is that looking forward? Like, it's none of that. Like, looking forward is to become a better member of a world economy, and to treat people better and all those things. That's how you move forward. We've always known that. Every time that a Democrat has been president, they focus on the working class people and they prop up the middle class. We end up with a surplus, not a deficit. We make money. Every time that a Republican has been president, every single one of them, every term has created a record debt bigger than the last. Every time. So to tell me that, go ahead.
And what Bill Clinton said during the Democratic convention about the job creation since the end of the Cold War. 51 million jobs have been created. How many by Republicans? 1 million. 50 million under Democratic presidents. So they lie about everything. Job creators. Nope.
Yeah. The whole thing since Reagan has been based on trickle-down economics. That's a complete failure, and that's been proven to be a failure over and over and over. The way that you make the economy thrive and the economy grow is by supporting the middle class, because they're the consumers. They're
give those people money, and we'll call it the trickle-up economics. It works better that way. The billionaires will eventually get their money back. It'll trickle right out
to the country. You're right, Aaron. You're right, Aaron Reese. And by the way, Aaron Reese, I want to thank you. You've been a supporter of the channel for a long time. And every time that I post something like talking about, channel politics and things, you're always there with a good bit of advice from experience and stuff about how to view things differently and stuff. And I really appreciate that. That's nice of you. Well, there's Ember too. Hey, Ember. Ember's been a huge help too with all this. So thank you too, Ember. But yeah, I mean, the way that our economy grows is whenever consumers have buying power. It's always been that way. Like when you take money out of the hands of consumers and put it in the hands of the billionaires, it doesn't go back into the hands of the working class. They keep it. It's always been that way. There is no trickle down thing.
No.
And they rename it all these different things, and it's always the same old shit. We're gonna make life great for the billionaires, and the working class is gonna pay for it. That's how it's always been. That's what they always do. To act like it's not that is different.
To be a billionaire, you have to be just as heartless as like Pablo Escobar, like a cartel leader. You don't care who dies. You just care if you get your money.
Yeah.
You just don't care.
If we, rather than worrying about putting America first, if we cared about putting people first and treating people equally under the law and making sure that we took care of our poor people and our old people and our hungry people, if we made sure that we did all those things, all that other shit would would fall together perfectly, because then you're creating consumers who are productive in society, and you have more productive people. What creating more billionaires just means that less people have the money and more people are poor and homeless. That's all that does.
Exactly.
It
They're
worsens.
hoarding all the wealth. They're hoarding it.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't want you to make $1 more, because if you make $1 more, it's $1 less that goes in their pockets. They know this. This is easy stuff. Again, I'm a dipshit from Kentucky, and I can see that. Like, it's plain right in front of your face. They're saying it even. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't. Billionaires can suck it. I agree, Al. Billionaires can suck it. Rich people can suck it in general. I say we have the purge. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah. But yeah, you could literally like tax them at 50%, and they'd still all be billionaires.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. That Aaron's got it right here. The economy and how strong your economy is based on the movement of money. If you send it to the bottom, it always works its way up. Yeah, because those poor people buy things so that they're not.
They have to buy
poor.
stuff. They have to spend it.
Yeah. Dick Trickle, what a name. Yeah. It's and that's common sense. All of this mental gymnastics they do to try and make you think that, oh, we give it to the rich people and they create jobs and they do this, but that's never the case. The Republicans always lose jobs when they do that. Always.
Every time.
Is a dipshit from Kentucky more of a dipshit than one from Cali? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends.
Right here where I live, we got Dave McCormick, and he's running commercials about, the fentanyl coming across the border, when he's a hedge fund manager who was heavily invested in Chinese pharmaceutical companies and made millions off them, including some that made fentanyl.
Yeah.
So what a hypocrite.
Yeah. It's mind blowing to think it, because I mean, I guess what happens is that people look at this and they're like, well, it's too complex for me to understand. I guess, they've got a plan and it's going to make people money, and I believe them. And but there's not, and people, they argue about this, the Democrats and Republicans, and Joe Biden was really good about saying, I'm going to grow the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, and that's how and that made sense to people and they get it. But that's the thing. People need to just be pointing out, hey, like, that's not how you make money.
I live amongst a bunch of Republicans who are not wealthy. You think they would get it?
Yeah. They trick the poor people into voting against their interest, because also the poor people, guess what they lack? Education. Democrats, demon rats, she says, never put America first. It's all about globalism with them. Joe, I hope you understand. I understand what you're saying, but you say globalism like it's a bad thing.
Isn't it kind of inevitable?
We live in a global economy. We are one world. All those borders, blessed be he, they're fucking imaginary lines. Like, they're not real. We're all people. Like why would you not want the world to be stronger? The world being stronger makes everybody stronger. It's I mean, I'm not saying that we should favor everyone else and not take care of Americans. I'm saying we should do both those things. Like you say Democrats do that, but the truth of it is, Democrats tried to fund Israel and Taiwan and Ukraine to help against people who are trying to attack their sovereignty. And the conversation about Israel is a little more nuanced. I get it, and I'm willing to have that. I'm not going to do it right now. But the plan was that anyway at the time. And Democrats have since kind of changed their tone on that a little bit. But I mean, the idea was to do things to help the world, because that makes us stronger. When our allies are strong, we're strong. Like, all those things are necessary. Um,
And
yeah,
we can't, and we literally cannot make and grow and create everything we need for America here. We can't.
do
There's
all
other
atheists.
there's other places in the world that make things and produce things better than we do,
Yeah, right. And cheaper,
and
unfortunately.
cheaper.
Yeah. Do all atheists think like you, Joe? Yes, blessed be he. I am the bastion of all atheists. They all bow to the wit of a dipshit from Kentucky. No, blessed be he. The only thing we agree on is that God probably doesn't exist. Um, the you know, it just happens to be that atheists, when they're not worried about people's souls and things like that, they're worried about the actual human beings that live here, is that they end up a lot of times, not always, taking on a humanist position, and they care more about people rather than a God. And I mean, I'm kind of trying to be nice about explaining that. It's really kind of like a, you know, but I'm trying to be nice about it. The Kentucky atheists believe in God. Yeah. um, and you said something else about where was it? There was something else. Blessed be he said. Do all atheists think like you? That's the one I seen. No, there was something else that I was wanting to put up. I don't know. I don't see it now. Oh yeah, yeah. Blessed be he answered this question. If Jesus showed up today, are you going to tell him that it's America first? Is that what you're going to do? I mean, the Christians support all these ideals, but there's nothing about them that is Jesus-like in any way, or even moral for that matter. But you know, there's the church. So you want to hate on me for do all? I get the do all atheists believe this way thing. I get it. Like, but you know, I'm
Not even
glad that
all
they don't agree with you.
there's probably not all atheists are Democrats.
No, they're
Although,
not.
you know,
Atheists for Liberty. We've met those fucking idiots. Tom Sheedy and the Atheists for Liberty. They're a
there
bunch
you
of
go.
crazy.
There you go.
Yeah. I hate that I even said their name on here, honestly. I shouldn't even done that. Um well, anyway, guys, I can sit here and rant about this forever, but again, I thank everybody that's came and watched the show today. Let me while I'm doing this, let me scroll this across the screen so I can say thanks to all my channel members that support the channel and stuff. I really do appreciate it, guys. Let's Farm is looking for people interested in doing debates.
We
Anybody
have
that
we
yeah,
have a
go ahead. I'll
channel,
let you.
and we have a channel in the Discord just dedicated for debates. We are a neutral platform, and we have a mute button that works for people like Kent Hovind. I am
But
not afraid. I'm not afraid to use it either. If somebody is not being a civil debater, we like civil debates, not dumpster fires.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, it's always good to have choices in you know, platforms of people that want to host debates and stuff, because it makes all the platforms forced to be more honest, you know.
And
And
we haven't had one in a while, but for a while we were having just open panel discussions on certain topics. So if we announce one of them, I'll put it up in your Discord, and you guys are more than welcome to join us.
yeah. Yeah, now it's not who are we debating, Amber. He was just saying that he's willing to host debates if somebody needs a neutral platform to do it, that they're available for it. Which, you know, sometimes you know, people don't want to debate on MDD, of course, for obvious reasons, and people don't want to, like theists don't want to go debate on another atheist channel. You know, like Mark Reed hosts great debates. I
I,
love.
I I was a moderator for a very long time for MDD, and I was one of the first ones for that channel. I mean, I came there from the non sequitur show, so I've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah,
and we are fairly good at hosting debates. I have two other moderators that work with me, so
there you go. You got your moderators built in and everything. Good deal.
oh yeah.
So one more time, I also while that's going on the screen too, I want to say thanks to my Patreon supporters. Greg, Robin, and Quinn, and Ray, and Regios, and Captain Desk, and Narrative Dude. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support over there. I've been trying to get some stuff over there. I've got some stuff I need to upload to there actually that's not on the channel that you guys will get and nobody else will. I try to do that, but it's hard.
And I will be sharing this at my Discord too for all of my fans to come watch.
Yeah. If you
I got one here. 0 came.
I mean, you can post anything you want in the chat. I don't care.
Oh, I did put up my Let's Debate link for the YouTube chat.
I think PC got it for you right here. Yeah.
Well, she puts up Let's Farm, and that's my channel that only has one video when I was just playing around with StreamYard to see if I knew how to get this to work. So you got to go to Let's Debate to see our debates.
Oh, okay. Is this Discord not for the debate channel?
Do
you don't know?
Did I put up?
You have multiple Discord servers?
No, well, yeah, I have 3, but I only would have a link to one of them in here. Yeah, that's probably my Discord. I hope.
Make America first, and then help others. America is weak right now. How is America weak right now? We've created more jobs. Where energy is set record profits.
I'll get one.
The economy is setting records. Well, how are we weak right now? In what way are we weak? Like that's the things that are said. But America is strong. The things Donald Trump is promising will make us weak. It will put us in huge debts, cause a trade war, a recession, and all of these things. The experts have all looked at it and determined the same thing. And I'm not talking about Democrats. Bipartisan panels all over the country have came to the same conclusion. Republican ones too. Like it's not just that's not how it is. It's just not the case. We're weak. That's funny. Corruption with the Democrats make America weak. What corruption? You say these things like I'm not going to ask for receipts for them.
Yeah, bring a citation of some sort.
You're gonna lose this. You're gonna lose this argument. Blessed be he. Trump's a racist Nazi piece of shit. Like you're not gonna. There's no way that you're gonna win this argument. Like there's nothing that Trump. First of all, he has no actual policies. The few things that he has promised, like 300% tariffs and stuff, doesn't. How does that help anyone? That's gonna drive the economy into the ground.
And no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and some kind of car credit thing. So yeah, he's gonna break a $7 trillion added to the debt.
Yeah,
that's the low estimate.
Least. Yeah,
that's the low estimate.
$7 to $15 trillion added to the debt, a recession, possibly a depression, a trade war, and don't forget. Iran's already pissed at us, and they've been trying to take out Trump anyway. So, like, he's not going to start a war there. Trump might be racist, but he knows how to run a business. No, he doesn't. He's went bankrupt 8 times. He failed at a fucking casino. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, blessed be he. Come on. A casino is basically a license to print money. People just come in and give you their money.
Yeah. Experience pays. What experience? He did an awful job. He told people to inject bleach. And also, let me just point out, let me just say something here, blessed be he. This statement right here, Trump might be a racist, and then the word but, you should have never continued after that. There's nothing else to fucking say. Why would we put a racist in office? Why would you do that?
Joe, that's just like when somebody says, not to be racist, and then they say something after that. Yeah.
How, Stephanie?
You know it's going to be racist.
Stephanie wants attention, everybody.
Hello, Stephanie.
All right.
Why would I want to?
Yeah,
well, the government's way bigger than a business. It has a lot more nuance.
Certain aspects of the government, the country somewhat runs as a business in many ways, but I don't think that, there's a lot to talk about there, Michael.
Yeah, there's a lot more nuance to it.
Stephanie says hi again. I think the economy has been, yeah, this right here, a Reuters document talking about how well the economy is doing. The job reports that have came out every quarter from Joe Biden have exceeded all expectations. Like we've done better exponentially than what anybody thought. It's just it's none of that's true is the problem. Oh, here we know. Here we go. Here we go. Honesty, finally. All I know is my husband had more money in his paycheck at the end of the day. That's worth my vote. Fine, fair. You're greedy then. That's what they call that. I
At
think the
least that's
Bible
an
says
honest
something about
answer.
that. Are you a camel trying to go through the eye of a needle? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I get. Blessed be He. At least it's an honest answer. You know, I mean, at least you gave me that. You care about a few bucks more than you care about the lives of other people. And I don't know how you think that's putting America first, because America isn't just made up of white people or rich people. It's made up of all kinds of people. And a lot of those people, those people in Ohio, the Haitians that he threatened to send to Venezuela, those people are here legally. We have laws. Like the these it's not just people from other countries. It's it's people that are here legally that are in
That
trouble for
that
this.
that same act was used to lock up Japanese American citizens
Exactly.
during World War II. The same law, and they were citizens of the United States. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be people that are here illegally. It's just anybody he doesn't like, or
Yeah. Ember, member for 6 months. Fun fact: the taxes increase was from Trump's plan. Exactly. That's you know, whenever Biden took office, he let a lot of things that Trump put in carry on purpose because it was he was just letting those things play out. He let a lot of people stay in their jobs too. Um, and also, Ember, thank you for being a member for 6 months. We're getting all these member chats in here, ain't we? Good. Member for 5 months, Justin Yahooligan. Just because Ember did it, I agree. If I could do it, I would. PC
another
member
one.
for 8 months. Behe, Google is your friend. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, quit. I'm clicking. I'm happy clicking. My trigger finger got happy. This is ridiculously. You're seriously gonna. Okay. See, now you're being mean.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't make me do it. I'll let them do it. You know, I ain't made any super chats tonight, Behe. I'm kind of hungry for it. I'm thirsty. I will fuck your world up. I'm joking. I'm not gonna do it. I don't. You know, I don't want to do that. I'm fine with other people doing. Oh shit. Beamsy, $10 Australian because I want to be different. Thanks, Beamsy. I appreciate it. You're a member too now, Beamsy. You'll get one of those next month. I would make those big green. You got to be a member, Stephanie. It's only 99 cents. Click that join button down there. We got memberships starting at 99 cents here, and every month you get those big green signs you can put up. And I do member streams for my members every month. Right here, see, this is the one you get for the first month. Jester, Lord of Shenaniganery, member for 1 month. Oh, here we go. All of them are putting them in today, huh? Michael Lynn, member for 8 months. Sydney Raptor, member for 5 months. I love it, guys. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you that have supported the channel, whether it be 1 month or many. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Stephanie Frizzle became a YouTube member. All right, Stephanie. And not only that, Stephanie, I'll add your name to this banner right here. Everybody that's currently a member, their name's on there. And I try to play that at least a couple times during the show. I can't let it play while I'm playing video and stuff because of all the things that StreamYard does badly. This thing right here will make it lag more than anything.
It starts glitching across the bottom too on ours.
No, I'm glad that you guys use those. I want to see those. It makes me happy to to see people recognizing that they've been a member of this channel, whether it be for 1 month or anything. Oh,
Right.
Yahoo looking $10.01 Canadian. Can't let Beamsy win. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that.
That's
That's
funny.
like negative $2 in American money. I'll send it to you later. I'm joking. Thanks, Justin. Oh, here we go. You want to be a sexist? All right. So anybody that wants me to, well, I'm just going to end the stream. We ain't going to do that. Like I said, I wouldn't. Yet you just took advantage of, you took my kindness for weakness is what you did there, VE, because I said that I wouldn't do it. So you decided to then start posting misogynistic, sexist bullshit. And look, you want to know the best thing about me, blessed be he? It's probably the woman that makes sure that I stay in line. So Beamsy gifted 10 Kentucky Atheist memberships. Let me go. I can't see the chat on. I can see, obviously I can see the chat, but I can't see the thing. And I'll go read off who all those are. Let's see.
They got a bunch of people.
What'd you say?
You got a bunch of people. Aaron Reese, KCA Randy, Al Trucker, Liz Allen.
Yeah, we got Aaron Reese, Randy, Al Trucker, Liz Allen, Jeremiah, Reverb Twang, Aunt Jer, Poor Claire, Tilting Windmill, Doorknob Head. Hell yeah. Well, welcome everybody, and I hope you enjoy the memberships. I'm doing a member stream tomorrow, actually.
Cool.
Let's see. Kentucky Atheist, my Johnson has never served to make me any smarter. On the contrary, I have story. She was trying to switch up the bullshit she was spouting. Yeah. Good try. Thank you so much, Beamsy. I appreciate the memberships, and I hope everybody enjoys those. That was very generous, you and Justin both, and everybody that's been a member and stuff and supported the channel. I really do appreciate all those things, guys. It's awesome. And now I feel like we got to keep talking now.
Oh, man. I might have to take a break though if we do.
You can go. You can do whatever you need to do if you need to go, or if you need to just take a bathroom break.
That's it right there. I'll be right back.
Yeah, click your thing and go do it. You're good. So, yeah, I'm happy to. I'm always happy to have more members and stuff, not because of the financial gain from it, but I do these member streams every week, and I love to have people come in and join the panels, because those are always open panels, and I get to sit and talk with everyone and meet those that want to come in, whether it's on video or audio or just in the chat or whatever, and we talk about whatever people want to talk about, you know. And so it's really awesome getting to do that. And Stephanie, you said you wanted some attention. You can message me anytime on here, and if you at me somewhere, I'll answer you. You can go join my Discord. If you look in the description of this video, there's a link to something called LinkTree. It has all my social media on it and stuff. I'll talk to you anytime you want to talk. I mean, you didn't have to be a member for that. I'm just saying, like, that stuff's there. You can talk to me anytime. I'm available for anybody that wants to talk, as long as, you know, it's not too crazy. I'm not going to send you any nudes of this sexy bod, so that 99-cent membership don't come with that. But thanks, Crystal, for posting that. But yeah, all my links and stuff are in there for anybody that wants to go check it out. I spend a lot of time here the last few days on Twitter just absolutely curb stomping creationists and being mean to them. And I can't help it. You know, it's a dirty pleasure sometimes to just go over there, and I can do it, and I know nobody's really watching me, and I can go over there and just address the craziest claims ever Today I had somebody telling me that the Bible was all eyewitness accounts and that a worldwide flood definitely happened, and all of science supports such a thing. And it just excited me in a way that it shouldn't.
I want to talk to Neil 604 atheist there one time. Tell him what happened to me, because I was raised Baptist till I was 13 years old.
Are you on Twitter?
No.
Okay, that's the best way to reach him. If you just message Neil, or if you give me an email or something, I'll send it to him, because he's always looking for people to talk to.
Cool.
He's always interested in talking to people.
Well, my entire life changed when my father passed away when I was 13 years old, and the priest that was a pastor that did his services lied to my face. Yeah, that was a fun day.
No, you're not banned, blessed be he. Every stream, that's how she starts. Am I banned? And I say, no, you're not banned. I go, as long as you're not, look, the misogynistic, sexist shit you said there, had you kept down that road, I might have, you know, you might have gotten banned. But I would have gave you a fair warning before that ever happened. And I don't just ban people for nothing, okay? If you're banned here, it's because you're actively saying horrible things to my friends, or because you're causing such a disturbance that we can't carry on. Like, I don't just ban people. You were banned for good reason those 3 times. All right. Beamsy, answer him back. $20 Australian victory. Thanks, Beamsy. I really appreciate that. I'll keep going as long as you guys do. I ain't going to stop if you're sending money back and forth. For fuck's sake, I am that petty. Blessed be he, no, but you may want to stop the sexist. Yeah. I'm not. That's not cool. TYT says Democrats are too weak to lead America. Okay. And the Bible says that snakes and donkeys talk. I don't fucking believe that either. TYT, like what kind of like, are they the authority on all things demon rats, as you say it? He said something that was contrary to what I read in the Bible. Bidding war to be Joe's favorite. Yeah. I just tell you what, whoever puts up the most money, I'll send a sexy pic to. I'd not get another super chat now, huh?
The Young Turks.
It may or may not be photoshopped. Let's see. With the Canadian conversion, that's like $40. I'm just a teacher. No, Justin, I don't expect you to do that either. I was just joking. You guys don't have to do that. It was a joke. Like, I'm glad that you did, and I truly appreciate it, but I by no means would, you know, this stream right here has made, because of what you guys just did, I'll have to look at the numbers, but it's made more money than I made in the last 2 months, I'm pretty sure. So, Beamsy Australian $1. You're gonna stay ahead, huh? Either way. Thanks, Beamsy. I really do appreciate that. Every dollar and every membership and all that. Oh, now you're just messing with me. You want me to just keep it on screen? $1 again from Beamsy. Thank you. I have no idea what the conversion rate is on Australian. I have no clue, but it doesn't matter. I have, in fact, if it wouldn't have been Beamsy sending it, I wouldn't have even known that it was Australian. I'm not very familiar with, hell, I don't see American money enough to know what foreign money is. Beamsy's making it rain. Yeah, that's funny. Bids a bill for $40. No one will bid lower than this. Yeah, it's about 80. Okay. That's cool. I think that's about the same of what Australian is, or not.
And An Australian dollar's worth 67 cents.
67 cents. I think Canadian is like 85 cents or something. It's up there.
So in America, we could just pay women in Australian dollars, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, since they only get like 70% of men's pay anyway.
I got my FEMA funds, by the way, and I still have my house. Well, that's great. They didn't declare my place a disaster, so I didn't even get a chance to apply for FEMA stuff.
Luckily, my brother only had a tree down. Didn't hit his house or his garage, so he's fine.
There was a lot of people's individual houses that flooded, and the schools flooded. They were out for like 10 days, but they it just, I mean, there were worse areas and stuff, and I mean, I'm fine. I just had a mess to clean up, really. Stephanie Frizzle, $10. I'll do this too. Well, thank you. What was that? That's $10. I had to look and see which country it was from. First super chat too. Yeah. Oh, go back. First super chat there for Stephanie Frizzle. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here, Stephanie, and having a good time. Let's see. Thank you, Stephanie. 73 cents. Canadian is 73 cents, so I was a bit hot on that. Yeah. Do they call them dollary dude? What is it?
It's worth 6 cents more than an Australian one.
Yeah. Obama tanked the economy. Trump had to say, "Oh, you're so full of shit. Shut up." I'm not even answering that. That doesn't even deserve a fucking response.
Beamsy, I was just being sarcastic.
You got $7.50 for the generator we need because we were out of power. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that they did that. That helps. You know, that's what that was for, right? To try and help with those immediate needs like generators and gas and things like that whenever everything's fucking destroyed. I'm glad that you came out of it good and that they took care of you somewhat, Aaron. I'm glad to hear it. Native Atheist with $10 super chat. Freedom dollars are 100 cents. Yeah. One SEK equals 0.095 US dollars. See, I don't what is that? Swedish
kroner? Is that a kroner?
Yeah. Swedish krones or kroners, or I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know. Aussie money doesn't tear. Take that, paper money. America first, braggers. That's funny. Yeah, your guys' money looks cooler too, for sure. Swedish kroner, yeah. We rolled the money back into buying more emergency preparedness stuff because climate change isn't going away. Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea, Aaron. Good for you. I'm glad that you're okay and safe and taken care of, man. It's good to hear that. I know you had a rough time there with it. Australian money is actually, but yeah, that's what I was saying. Australian money is super cool. It looks way better than ours. Crowns, it's pronounced crowns. Kroner is pronounced crowns, or crowners, or crowner, or crowns. I don't know. I'm going to take it as what you said, crowns. Sydney Raptor, neither does Canadian. Canada doesn't have pennies. Canada doesn't have pennies.
They used to have pennies. I have some.
The Kentucky Atheist, I'm still disappointed that I have 30 silver shekel and a big Bible. Bashes will not sell me their daughter. Like, yeah. You got 30 shekels and can't buy any women, damn it.
That says that, and the Bible says that's a going rate.
So what's a GBP?
Great British Pound.
Oh yeah, that's like a euro, right?
Oh no, they're not. They Brexited.
Well, then it wouldn't. GBP wouldn't be a Great Britain pound.
Yeah,
or is that where Zero's from?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's from the UK.
That's interesting. I knew that their money was worth more. That's not. I just didn't know GBP was for it. I thought it was just I don't know. I guess I'm a stupid American and figured
Well,
LB was pound.
well, since they Brexited,
Scottish.
they went back to the pound.
Scottish.
Yeah,
Which is,
he's
yeah,
Scottish.
yeah, same thing. I heard the U.S. will never get rid of pennies because it's Lincoln on them. There's a few. They actually print every penny at a loss. Every penny we stamp, we do it at a loss. But yeah, people are just attached to them, and they're everywhere, and so they. Kroner is pronounced the way you pronounced it the first time around, minus the Kentucky accent. It means crowns in English. I got you. I got you. Let me see if I can say it. Kroner. Is that without the Kentucky accent, or was that just deeper?
I don't have a Kentucky accent. Do I get it close, Kroner?
Your accent's kind of similar. I can tell it's more northern than mine. You've got a little bit of twang in there.
It hangs in there, especially when I'm talking about MR ducks.
MR ducks. Oh yeah, I wanted to show everybody that. I've got that prepped and ready. Hold on. We've got a test for everybody here. I want you to do it. All right. Where's it at? I got to do it a different way, don't I? Okay, hold on a second. Let me add it to this. I got to add it as an overlay to show it to you. And is this from October 16th? All right, here we go. So Let's Farm sent me this last week, well, about 9 days ago. And it says, when I first moved to Kentucky, my family messed with me and gave me what they called a redneck test. The test was to read the following out loud. I wonder if you will get it. I hope you do. Does anyone want to give it a try? You can come on stage and give it a try, but you can also just print out in the chat like the phonetic way to say it. I'll give everybody a few minutes. We'll keep talking. I'll leave that up there and give everybody a few minutes to do it and see what you come up with.
No, I am not a Christian. I am an agnostic. I'm a former Baptist.
There you go. I will. I'll leave it up there for a minute and let everybody give a shot at it, and then either I'll read it or Let's Farm can read it. This is to me. It's you have to look at it for a second for the way it's written, but as soon as I started sounding it out, I knew exactly what it said. This is nothing to me. This is easy. This is kiddie table.
Yeah, it is. It's easy.
Most people though ain't gonna get this, and it's funny. Let's see. That was awesome. Don't ever turn off the Kentucky accent ever again. That shit will lose you subs. Okay. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of great comments about the Kentucky accent. I've got people who just like to hear me talk. I was going to do a podcast at one point and just do audio. That way I can just sit and talk.
When I first moved up here from Kentucky, though, everybody's like, man, you talk funny.
Yeah. In Norway, it's Kroner. Yeah. Agnostic here too, from Zero. Okay. We got the agnostics in the house today, which I consider atheists too, actually. But
I don't consider myself smart enough to make a decision either way. Yeah, I'm not informed enough.
So the way that I look at it is that, and I know this isn't common. I'm different on this, and that's okay. No one has to agree with me. It's just my opinion. Don't everybody get all worked up when I say it. But the word atheist has an etymology, and whenever you add that A to it, it's not theism is what it means.
Right.
So anything that is not theism is therefore, or without theism is atheism, and agnosticism is without theism. So it's also atheism.
Well,
so
the word agnostic, if you take the A off it, gnostic means knowledge. So agnostic, which should be pronounced agnostic, means without knowledge, and that's me. I don't have enough knowledge.
I agree with that, but I would consider, like you said, because the agnostic position is usually like you can't know, you don't know, or can't know, or whatever. And so I would say in that sense, I can't know either, because we can't even study the supernatural, so there is no way to know. So I'm an atheist agnostic, or an agnostic atheist. So like, but again, like, there's a lot of people quibble over this and get stuck on these terms and stuff, and that's just my way of looking at it. It's not, I know it doesn't fit what everybody else thinks and all that stuff, so whatever.
And blessed be, he asked if I was baptized, and all three of us kids were baptized when we were little.
Yeah. You shouldn't try to drown your kids, blessed be.
So we ready to read that yet? Tell them what it says. Nobody's tried to translate that.
Yeah. Anybody want to give it a try before? I'm an agnostic.
I'll even give you a hint. It's two hillbillies talking to each other.
Yeah. I study religion. That's fine. I don't have a look. I'm just some dude from Kentucky. What I call it doesn't matter. Because I tell you, not the philosophers like to get into arguments with me, because I will say atheism is the rejection of the God claim, right? It's the rejection of you claim a God exists, and I don't think that's true. For whatever reason, I don't accept that. I reject it. I'm not convinced it's true. However you want to word it. But they like to try and switch it around into this philosophy argument and says, well, that's actually saying you don't believe a God exists. And I say, yeah, that's right. I don't believe a God exists. But that's not the same as me saying a God doesn't exist. What I believe is it doesn't matter. Like, the one thing that I don't believe is that a God exists. So it's the rejection of that. It's are you purified, Joe? No, I'm pickled, bitch.
If you're like Aaron Ra, you just say he's an anti-theist. He says God cannot exist. It's logically and everything else impossible.
Yeah. I've seen her get more obnoxious until she's kicked it. I mean, she's not doing anything all that bad now. She can do that. I don't care. As long as she's not being like mean or racist or
okay. I agree with purple rhymes with orange right there. I'm an apatheist. I don't care whether or not God exists. That's a good one. I like that.
That's my girlfriend. She says that the claims are stupid, and it's so stupid that she doesn't give a shit, that even if it's true, religion is evil and traumatic and all those things. Washing my balls in the creek left me purer than dunking my hand. Yeah, no doubt.
I'm going to read this to him.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay, you guys ready? This is what this actually says. It's two hillbillies talking to each other. The first one says, MR ducks.
MR not.
OSMR. CM wangs.
LIB. The MR ducks. Sorry.
That's exactly right. LIB. MR ducks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And they had me going for a long time. I kept trying Mr. Ducks, what is Osmer?
Well, when I first looked at it, I was like, Mr. Ducks, what? And then I was like, MR, it's something to do with the letters. And I was like, oh, it's just phonetics or phonics, whatever the fuck it is.
And
I was
like, other phonics.
MR Ducks, MR not, OSMR, CM Wangs, LIB, MR Ducks. People speak like that all the time here.
That's what I heard down there all the time. Some of you drive by a pond, them are ducks. No,
yeah.
Them are not.
Because the word of God has no definition. An atheist or agnostic is someone who believes that the question of whether God exists. Oh, yeah. That's. What is that? I cannot confirm or deny God exists. Yeah, and nobody can. That's the problem. It's an unfalsifiable position.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the same for you. That guy sucks. Who sucks? Oh, I see. I was confused because I thought Kentucky spelled it DUX. Yeah, could have been, because that's for sure. Because it's not ducks, it's ducks.
Right. I could have. Yeah, it should have been. But that's how they wrote it and gave it to me.
I'm always interested in how people would write the letter I for Kentuckians, because the letter I is I. Is
Right.
how other people use it, and we use I. So it's
Right.
like, but like your I and I and I. I don't know.
The first word that had a thick Kentucky accent for me was the word fire. I became unable to say that anymore, and everything was on fire.
Yeah.
Go, you go, shit, your lawn's on fire.
Oh, I thought I had banjo music in the music there. I was going to start playing it, but I don't. I would have done it, guys. It would have been good. I still don't know what's going on. So that thing on screen there, it's a trick for people who try to understand how people in the South speak in Kentucky. It's phonetics. It's not actual words. We're reading what's on screen here. It's not Mr. Ducks or Mr. Not or OSMR. It's MR Ducks, MR Not, OSMR, CM Wangs, LIB, MR Ducks.
And they
You
do
know.
say, and my when I was down, when I was living in Kentucky and going to church, they would say things like LIB, and the easy the their favorite way to insult you is bless your heart.
What did I miss? What did I miss or ignore?
Oh, oh, my chat froze.
I don't know what I missed. Somebody's gonna have to tell me. I feel like something happened and I did miss it now. I don't know what it is. Oh. All right.
I'm missing it
So
too.
wait. Yeah, I still don't see it. Sydney Raptor. Oh, okay. I got you. Accent, the Kentucky accent could be a good channel name if you're still thinking of that. Same initial too. Oh yeah, that's true. I like that. Um, I keep thinking about that, and I'm like, man, because I do want to change it, but I'm like, man, that's going to be such a huge ordeal because I'm going to have to change a whole bunch of shit. Like the branding that I know that my channel's not really popular and all that. Like, I mean, it is to an extent. I've got like 1,200 subscribers and all that, but like, I get that. But like all that social media and stuff, like Facebook and all the reels, like I'm set to monetize my Facebook and my Twitter and all. I mean, none of it is monetized. I'm just saying I could is all I'm getting at. I've got all that stuff set up, and as the channel gets bigger and stuff, I don't have to go and do that. It's already established. That's really what I'm getting at with that. It's all right, I am going to answer this question, Behe, because I feel like that it's, even though you don't give a shit what the answer is, I feel like maybe somebody else will. So I'm going to answer this. How atheists can find meaning in life, Joe, the Kentucky atheist, can you answer that? So the deal is, blessed be he, is whenever, because I used to be a believer, a young earth creationist, all those things. And the meaning of life to someone of that is where your soul goes. And you're always, God is the higher power, and you're sorry to God. You ask God for forgiveness, and you ask God to forgive you for everything. Well, whenever I don't think there is an everlasting afterlife, and I don't think there is a God that can forgive me for things that I've wronged other people, human lives suddenly become more important, and the time that I get to spend on this earth becomes so much more valuable, and the world becomes so much more of an awe-inspiring place at that time. And I know that you don't understand that, but what the whole thing is that the meaning of life to me then becomes the happiness of others and leaving the world a better place than I found it, and trying to do good things for other people. It's not all in service to a God. It's in service to my fellow man, like, or woman, or whatever. It's in service to a better world for people.
Humanity.
Yeah, and so the meaning of life to me is to make the world a better place in some little way for my children than it was for me. The whole reason I do this thing on here is because how many 300-pound people do you know that are 42 years old and tick because they have fake pieces in their heart? Not too fucking many, right? So the idea is that this is me attempting to leave some sort of something behind, that I tried to do good instead of all the bad and horrible things that I did in the past. And I know it doesn't make up for those things, but it is an actual attempt to do something to make something better for somebody, to provide a safe place for like-minded people to talk and not have to deal with the trauma and the horrible things that religion promotes. And that's why when you come in this room and then you start attacking people in the chat, like has happened in the past, that's why I get so upset, because I care about people. I don't care about your God. Your God's bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I care about people and the well-being of people. And when you start saying things that are harmful to people who have already suffered enough trauma at the hands of religion and been excluded by it and been treated horrible because of it, it upsets me very deeply, because the meaning of life to me is people. So
Yeah, and as a human being, we are fully capable of harming other human beings, but we sure can't harm God.
yeah,
So
yeah, I don't believe it. Only believers can be heretics. Yep, exactly. I don't, none of that's, sin isn't actually a thing. I may refer to it colloquially. That's hard for a Kentuckian to say. I may refer to it colloquially just to get a point across or something. But yeah, I don't believe in sin. I believe in morals based on the betterment of what's good for people, like, so do you. Yeah, you're gonna sit and tell someone else they believe in a false religion? That's fucking laughable. Jesus fucking Christ. See, I don't believe in Jesus Christ, but there I just, it's just colloquially. There, I said it better that time. I have to take a speech class again. I had a stutter when I was a kid. Sometimes when I get excited on here, you'll see me do it too. When I get upset with somebody, I'll start stuttering real bad. But all right. We're happy with the name as it is. We're actually laughing with you. Don't listen to people who mock you. Oh, yeah. I'm not. That's the least of my worries. So many people deal with. Yeah, I've lived a tough life, sure. I've been through the traumatic things that religion has to offer. I've been through the traumatic things that crazy racist people in Eastern Kentucky have to offer. I've lived through drugs and death and destruction and jail and prison, and I've had people make attempts at my life, car wrecks, being football players, having money, being poor. I'm just like a regular old Forrest Gump. And the thing of it is, though, is that I don't. All of those things, though, are just. It's okay. Like I forgot. All of that stuff, though, is like it. Sure, there's regrets and things that I wish didn't go the way they went and all that crap, but at the same time, like, I mean, I'm not unhappy with my life or whatever. I have a good time. We come on here and do good. I'm not taking anything personal from anybody. When I get off here, like, sure, I have a lot of friends and stuff I've made on here, people that I talk to outside of when I'm just streaming, and people that even that I only talk to when I'm on here, that I care about and stuff. So I think about that. But like the haters and stuff, just know you're not setting up shop in this big old head. I forget you the moment this goes off. There you're repeatable. You're less than average. Um, what are we doing? Fucking Hallmark cards? Is that what we're making up now? Did I miss the part of the movie where Forrest pulled a Shawshank? So I've actually had this idea. I wanted to take my story and I want to make a book out of it eventually. But in order to do that, I think it's better if I make little video chunks of different parts of it and then organize it, like do some brainstorming, do some video, and do that until I have everything I want to include, and then organize it and take stuff out, kind of like how they did the Bible. And I want it to then make it into a story of my experiences and stuff. And I think my story is not average. It's different than a lot of people's. And I don't know if that's good or interesting or whatever. I mean, when I've told it on here, people have liked it. But there's a lot of things still I haven't told and I would like to include. And since people like that, maybe they would, I don't know. And also, again, it's something I leave behind about who I was and what I do and all those things. And so I'm really thinking about doing that. And I'm not sure how I want to do that yet, though. If I want to lay out the videos on YouTube or just post them for members or put them on my Patreon or something, because then at the same time, a lot of people know my story and maybe they don't want to see all that again. And maybe that stuff's definitely, some of it's not going to fly as far as YouTube goes. And so I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet, but that's kind of the idea.
I would have the same problem.
Yeah. But Behe, even though you come on here and stir up trouble and everything, I don't have a hateful bone in my body towards you. I feel sorry for you, honestly, if you want to know the truth of it. And I hate that you're so caught up in that stuff that you can't see the things clearly that the rest of us experience, the happiness that we have and the weight that was lifted from us from getting away from some of that stuff. And it's not that I'm saying you should be an atheist or that's the way to go or anything. It's just I know that the things you're saying are just so far from reality that I feel sorry that you're in that place. And to be quite honest, and you're probably not going to like this, but I've heard that you have 6 kids, and I hate it for them too. I do, because you seem very religious, and that tends to be a bad thing. And that was probably not a popular thing to say there, but I said it anyway. You're an asshole sometimes too, so I get to be too. All right, that's enough burning people to the ground for today. Electromagnetic spectrum that is visible for yeah, that's getting sciencey. All right, guys. So we'll try this again, okay? There's a bunch of members. We have a whole bunch more now, but thank you guys for being members. Really thanks to my Patreon supporters and stuff. If any of you guys want to get a hold of me, you want to talk about coming on the show, an idea for a show, or you just want to reach out to me and say something or whatever, my email address is KentuckyAtheist@gmail.com. You can get me there. I answer all my emails from people and stuff. So feel free to reach out to me or send ideas or talk or whatever. Many of you I've talked to on here, and that's that's it. Go check out Let's Farm, and again, he's looking for people who's interested in doing debates, moderating, that kind of thing.
You can find us on Discord and YouTube. Let's Debate.
There you go.
LETTS debate too, by the way.
There you go, guys. I ended up going an hour longer than I planned, but thank you for you folks that bought the super chats and the memberships and the all those things. It was very generous of you, and I truly do appreciate it. It was very, very nice of you. Thank you so much. And let's see, where's the button to end this thing? Everybody have a great night. See you later.